Welcome to the 8th episode of Wings and Wine. My name is Derek, also known as The City Needs Me. You can find me on all social media platforms at City Needs Me. You can follow Wings and Wine Instagram page at WingsXWine. If you're new to this YouTube channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you are aware whenever a new episode is posted. Also, go ahead and click on that bell icon so you're notified when a new episode is posted. On today's episode, we're going to do another Wings and Wine review. We're also going to discuss city girls versus independent women, how they compare and how they correlate. You're also going to see clips from my Vegas trip that I took a few weeks back. So let's go ahead and get this episode started. Before we start this episode, I want to give a big shout out to my favorite sports team, the Los Angeles Lakers, for winning the 2020 NBA championship. Told y'all at the beginning of the season that we were going to win it. Y'all didn't want to listen, but, everybody isn't a fan like I am. So just wanted to go ahead and give a big shout out. Definitely had to wear the jersey. I don't know if you can see this time, so had to wear the LeBron jersey. Definitely showed out, you know what I mean? And in the bubble at that, which I know was difficult for those players, and 0 positive COVID tests in the bubble. That's a big accomplishment for the NBA. But yeah, definitely shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers. It was a big season, especially with the loss of Kobe Bryant, who's my favorite athlete of all time. So definitely rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, Gigi, and all those that had lost their lives in that helicopter crash earlier this year. And it's good to see that the NBA did finish off their season, and it's on to the next one, But we're going to go ahead and get this Wings and Wine review started. The wings that I got today were from the Dream Barbecue, which is actually in Homewood. And if you haven't been to the Dream Barbecue, you're definitely missing out. Not only do they have good wings, but they have good ribs, as well as their sides are really, really good. I had greens and macaroni and cheese with this today, and it was fire. I'm telling you. So I'm going to go ahead and try out the wings, let you go ahead and see how I react to them. This is the first time I'm eating the wings today. I had them in the past over the summer, but I have them today with the honey mustard sauce on the wings. They're not like real huge wings, but they did a job. And it's not a spicy wing with the honey mustard sauce, but they do have different levels. They have like a mild and they do have like a spicier kind. But I'm not real big into spicy, so the honey mustard is good for me. Excuse my manners. So yeah, for the wing, I would definitely go ahead and give that an 8 out of 10. The reason why I'm saying they're fire, but I would give it an 8 out of 10 is because they're not a real huge wing, but it's a regular size wing, and it's an affordable price for the wings in 2 sides. You get it for like $11. That's not that much at all, for real, to be honest. And they have different options, as I stated. Again, it's the Dream Barbecue in Homewood. Shout out to Peepers, who I went to high school with. I know he's on the grill a lot out there, and he's definitely doing his thing there. So if you're ever in the east side of Pittsburgh, go ahead and stop at the Dream Barbecue. An 8 out of 10 on the wings. I ain't gonna lie, I just killed them wings, man. It was like probably a few minutes, to be honest. I was real hungry. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna post how disrespectful I was to those wings just a few minutes ago, like, to be honest. But those wings were fire. Now let's get to the wine review. The wine that I have is called Alma Libre. And to no surprise, it is a Cabernet Sauvignon. You know, not the biggest white wine drinker, but I keep getting suggestions for white wines. So I'm going to go ahead on the next episode. I will have a white wine. I know this has become almost like a recurring joke that really isn't funny. But this next episode, I will have a white wine. But this one is Alma Libre. Again, it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. This is actually from Chile. Let's go ahead and taste this one. Smells good. It's okay. This is another affordable wine, and I'll put the price in the description of the video. But this one was just okay. It doesn't taste like my typical Cabernet Sauvignon. It is definitely dry, but it's not to the dryness that I would like, if dryness is actually a word. But it's decent. It's good just to wash down probably the wings right now, but I might have to give this one a 5 out of 10. This might be my transition to the white wine now, because this one was disappointing, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not feeling this wine from Chile. Yeah, I had to taste it again to see. Yeah, I'm definitely giving this a 5 out of 10. Like, it's right in the middle there, and it's not even, that might even be a little bit high. But yeah, that wine wasn't the greatest. I am gonna look for a little bit more expensive wines at the store to go ahead and feature on the show. I typically like to do the affordable wines on the show because I like to go ahead and give people options, because wine drinking is a big deal, and people don't typically do it to just go get drunk. They typically do it to have a relaxing evening, a relaxing day if they're like out having lunch or something like that with some friends. And it's always good to find something that is in the budget of a lot of the American people, or if you're watching it overseas, it might be, you know, in your budget as well. But I'll definitely go ahead and get a little bit more expensive wines to see how they taste. I have had expensive wines, and I've had hit or miss, to be honest. I've had some that were the $50 range. I've had some that were in the $400 range, and the higher priced ones weren't always the greatest, to be honest with you. But I'll go ahead and test those out. I'll go ahead and feature some more, because there's so many wines that you can definitely feature that we can go on and on with these episodes. Now for the wings, you know, if you have suggestions on wings in Pittsburgh area, or if I say that I'm going traveling somewhere, definitely leave suggestions in the comments, as well as for the wines, because I always take suggestions and I always go ahead and look for those and definitely test them out to see how they would go and how they would fare on the show as well. But let's go ahead and get into the topic today, which is city girls versus independent women. How they compare, how they correlate, how they contrast, all of that. We'll go ahead and start talking about that right now. So city girls versus independent women. You're probably wondering, why am I talking about this? Why is this a topic for me? I'm a man. Why am I talking about women discussions and things of that nature? Well, I was listening to some music with a woman a few weeks ago, and we started talking about the music today and how city girls and their movement has become so big. And at one point there was such a big emphasis on independent women and going to work every day and getting your money that way and not needing a man for things. And I started to ask, you know, has that narrative changed? Or is it really the same, just speaking in a different tone and a different demeanor and a different avenue, basically, is what I'm saying. Because with the city girls music now, you know, a lot of times they talk about scamming, but realistically, they're talking about getting money some type of way and not caring about how they're getting it. And in all honesty, that's kind of an independent woman. I know it's not like they're dependent on a man, but the way that they're going about it is kind of an independent manner. Now, I don't know what other people think. If you think another way, then, you know, feel free to drop it in the comments or say it to me directly. It doesn't matter, you know, either way you say it. Everybody has their own opinion. Now, as far as the independent wave, now I remember, you know, early 2000s, probably to like 2009, 2010 era, there was always like this big independent woman wave. And it was, you would hear music like Destiny's Child. I believe they had a song called Independent Woman. Even going to men singing about independent women a lot, like Neo and Jamie Foxx and stuff like that. You would hear different people singing about independent women and how they're going and getting it on their own. But now it seems like that there's some type of a clapback whenever you hear music like the City Girls or something like a Saweetie, or even sometimes Meg Thee Stallion has it in her type of music, that you're hearing women or scamming or they're scheming or they're finding a way to get money on their own. And I feel like a lot of times, like, you know, scam is definitely wrong, for sure, 100%, stuff like that. But how long have we glorified rap music in the male form in which they glorify things that are definitely wrong? You know, there's a lot of times where there's a lot of violence in rap music, or maybe like drug dealing and stuff like that. It's all a story, and we like to hear the stories. So I don't feel like there's a big issue with the way the City Girls are bringing out their music. If you feel like it's influencing a culture and influencing women to scam you, that's not happening. That's been happening. It's happened on the women's side. It's happened on the men's side. Women have schemed men. Men have schemed against women. It's been happening since the beginning of time. You can check the Bible. So it doesn't even make a difference. So I want to know your opinion, though. Like, what do you feel about City Girls music versus the old independent woman wave, where you may have women talking about their 9 to 5s. Now you get the City Girls talking about how they get money. I mean, it's two different lanes, but at the end of the day, you know, the City Girls, they may say, you know, they ain't got jobs, but they have a job now. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you really have to look at the aspect of how they're saying things, and I just like the quality of the music, be honest. I like the independent woman music, but I also like the City Girls music. I like a lot of the rap music where it's similar on the men's side as well, you know. So I want to know how you feel. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Tell me more. Let's go ahead and get further into discussions about other things than just the wings and the wine, because when you're eating wings and you're drinking wine, you're not just going and doing that in silence. You're having discussions about different things. And that's how this came about. So tell me how you feel. And look forward to the next episode of Wings and Wine, which will feature a white wine. But before we get to that part, let's talk about Vegas. Because I recently went to Vegas. And I'm telling you, even though it's quarantine, Vegas was still kind of Vegas. Like, there was definitely things that were different. But it was still lit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the strip was definitely popping still. Some of the spots were open, but it was a different type of capacity and a different level, I would say, of fun that I had. I got to really look at things a little bit more when I was in Vegas, instead of just us being at a party every single day. We got to really experience some things that I didn't before. I went to the Fremont Street Experience, which was really dope. I thought that there was a lot to see down there that I didn't know was there before. So that was really cool. We went to Marquee for a day pool party, which you had to buy a section to actually get into the party. So we ended up getting a section. There was about 10 of us, so we ended up getting 2 sections because, you know, everything's limited to like 6 people per area. But it was really cool. I mean, the pool was open. You know, people, really didn't have their masks on in the pool. I'm not gonna lie, but people were staggering around to the point where they weren't in each other's faces as much. I will include some clips at the end of this to show you, how it looked in Vegas. The funny thing was the last night we were in Vegas is when Vegas actually reopened. So bars started to open up at midnight on a Sunday, like Sunday going into Monday, basically. So it was real interesting because we didn't end up leaving out of where we were at till about 4 a.m. and we had to get on the plane in like a few hours after that. But I would definitely recommend, if you're trying to go somewhere to have a good time, you can go to Vegas. The clubs, like nightclubs, aren't open yet, but again, you can go to the pool parties that are still open. You just have to buy a section, so just be prepared to spend that money. The casinos were definitely open, and they were definitely showing love. I had won on the blackjack tables, but I lost at the slots because I am not a slot player at all. It sounds crazy, but I have no idea what I'm doing on them. So I lost money on the slots, but I did win at the table. So I think at this point in time, they're probably just trying to give away money to bring people back. So I definitely would recommend Vegas, but definitely stay safe. Continue to wear your masks while you're out there because you don't know who you're going to come across. Even if it's people in your party, you definitely want to still be safe, wear your mask, travel safely, continue to wear it on the plane. There was an issue on the flight that we were on, and some woman was not trying to put her mask back on, and they basically had to force her to wear her mask because they had to keep coming back to her and telling her. So just wear the mask because it's at this point it's not that big of a deal. Hopefully we'll get out of this soon, but we all have to play our part and do the right things, So look forward to the next episode of Wings and Wine, which hopefully it will be next week. I'm going to try to be consistent. I know I said that in the past, and sometimes I've failed at it, but I do have a regular job as well, and it gets kind of busy. So thank you for watching. Continue to watch the episodes. Continue to share the episodes. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you dislike, to be honest, because I always look for constructive criticism. I have thick skin, so it's not going to hurt me if you tell me you don't like it or there's some things that you want me to change. That will be to your liking. Let me know. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, share it, click the bell icon. And this was the 8th episode of Wings and Wine. My name is Derek. You can find me on social media platforms at City Needs Me. You could find the Wings and Wine page at WingsXWine on Instagram. And we will have some guests coming up soon. I keep saying that, and it's just a scheduling conflict, but they are coming soon. I will have a series of episodes as well that I'm looking forward to, but continue to watch. This has been Wings and Wine. My name is Derek. You have a great day, evening, afternoon, whenever you are watching this. Peace.
We took a trust. She gonna let that seat's gonna push back too. Okay, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. I haven't seen